said, partner, I don't usually like to give out money on the street, but if you're hungry, I'd be happy to buy you something to eat. We were in front of a Burger King. So we went in, he got himself a couple of cheeseburgers and a large coffee and an extra large fry. He got about a dozen of those white little paper cups that you pump full of ketchup, and a big mound full of sugar packets, you know, and that went into his coffee. And I said, you know, you're certainly welcome to eat by yourself if that's your preference, but I'd really enjoy the company if you want to join me. So we got ourselves a booth in the corner. He said his name was Larry, but he liked to be called L, and he had on a raggedy yellow sweater that brought out a troubling cast in his eyes. But I didn't want to, you know, pry. I figured we're just two guys having lunch. Talk about what guys talk about sports, talk about work. I said, tell me about your work, L. He said, I ask people for money. I said, how long have you been doing it? He said, all my life. I said, well, I bet you got a lot of amazing stories to tell. I bet you've acquired a unique skill set. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, for instance, I bet you're good at sizing people up, at reading people, deciding who to go up to, who to stay away from, you know. He said, John, you can't never tell nothing about nobody just by looking at them. He said, you can see the happiest looking person come down the street, you ask them for a buck, and they start yelling for the police. And you can see the sourpussest looking individual come along, and you ask them for help, and they light up like a Christmas tree. They're only too happy to help you any way they can. Can't tell nothing about folks just by looking at them. I said, well, did you ever get arrested? He said, no, I would never bother anybody, and once they realize I'm going to leave them alone, they always settle down. I said, well, like, in all these years doing this, who stands out? I said, did you ever meet like an eccentric millionaire who gave you $1,000? He said, John, what do folk musicians smoke? I said, no, nobody's passing out large bills on the streets of Oakland. Trust me, I'd know. I said, well, like, who does stand out as the nicest person, the nicest person you ever met out there? He said, well, that would be you. I said, man, I only spent $7 on lunch. I know you met more generous people. He said, I met a lot of people that gave me more money, but I never met anybody that wanted to eat with me. And that inspired this song. It's called Don't Just Do Something, Stand There. It's what we do, ain't it? If it looks worn and painted, if it is torn, mended, if it's bent, unbend it. But when hearts break, when the soul is shaking, your bag of tricks is clean out of quick fixes. Don't just do something. Don't just do something. Don't just do something. Stand there. Don't quote renowned sages or Sunday school pages. Paths of least resistance will keep at a distance. The challenge of seeing the whole human being all their fierce beauty, and your profound duty. Don't just do something. Don't just do something. Don't just do something. Stand there. In the still and screaming silence, with the illness and the violence, where the cosmic joke is on us, tears and laughter keep us honest. Whether it's deep sadness borderline madness. Do not disrespect it or look for the exit. Stand in the breach, brother. Stand with one another. Your presence, sweet sister, can heal and minister. So don't just do something. Stand